Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I will be highlighting some of the common mistakes that we make as immigrants, or rather new immigrants, when moving to Germany. And some of those mistakes, I have personally made some of them. So I just feel like it's necessary to sort of create awareness on some of these things because it could be useful to one or two persons out there. But one mistake a lot of us do when moving to Germany or to a new country in general is our lack of in-depth research. And I've made a video in my channel before about things to consider before moving abroad. I think you guys should check it out to give you a bit of clarity. So when you're moving to Germany, you need to do a lot of in-depth research on the type of place Germany is, the cost of living in Germany, the cultural norms here in Germany, the type of health care system that operates in Germany, public or private, which one is particular to you, the kind of insurances that you would need in Germany that will be advantageous to you. So all these little things is something that we need to actually focus our strength on, like imbibe that in-depth research. Keep on your research cap on. So that's one of the mistakes that we make. We do not do a lot of in-depth research. We just make up our mind so easily, and then at the end of the day we like, oh my god, I wish had I known. Another mistake we make is not equipping ourselves with the necessary financial knowledge that we need to be able to live and thrive in Germany. Now if you're living in Germany, especially when you know you want to stay in Germany for the long haul, it's necessary that you try to find out different ways, financial investment, financial moves you could make to be able to live and thrive here. When it comes to taxes in Germany, you need to learn how the tax system work, because there are different tax classes in Germany, and those tax classes can be good or bad for you depending on your situation here in Germany. So you need to find out these things so that you do not get taxed unnecessarily. We know in the Western world, this whole credit card system of living is very normal. You need to find out about how the credit card system works and how to use it effectively so that it doesn't affect you negatively. The credit card system actually helps you to be credit worthy sometimes when you want to apply for a loan. But at the same time, if you know you're not financially disciplined enough to manage a credit card, don't even bother purchasing one in the first place. So you need to really be grounded on the knowledge behind all these kind of things. Now if you're planning to stay in Germany for the long haul, and you plan to maybe have your own house, apartment, or a home here in Germany, you need to know about different financing options that are open to you, and how to start on time to save up or plan up for this kind of things, especially for those people who will be staying in Germany for the long haul. Germany is a country where German is spoken. Every document you receive here in Germany will definitely be written in German. So before you append your signature on any document at all, make sure you read that document properly and translate it adequately before you append your signature, because in Germany, ignorance is not an excuse, and I've said this like so many times. So before, when somebody gives you a document and says, oh, you have to sign this as fast as possible, always tell them you want to take your time to go through the document the proper way before you append your signature on anything, because a lot of people have made this mistake of just breezing through or just trusting people that are speaking to them without doing their own personal translation on this document, and they just append their signatures, and at the end of the day they find out that, oh, they've made a mistake. So always do not forget to read through and translate properly every document you receive before signing it. Now talking about documents, in Germany, documents is like, I don't know, Germany is a paper country, okay? You get so many letters, so many documents, and so many times. So always have a file, have a place where you keep and you store all these documents, because you will be surprised in the next 5 years, they might ask you for a document that was given to you like about 5 or 4 years ago, and then you start looking for it. So don't just throw away documents anyhow or discard. Always keep them neatly filed up properly. One mistake we make is undermining the psychological effects that comes with migrating, especially when you're migrating to a country like Germany. Okay, because life in Germany is not the easiest. As adults, we find we like to focus more on the financial aspect of migration, moving to a place to work, to school, and all of that. But we do not focus on the fact that there will be a psychological shift, a psychological switch, because you're coming to a place that is quite different from what you're used to. And you're coming to a place where you have less friends and family. There is literally little support system you have. So psychologically, especially at the beginning, it's going to take a toll on you. So you need to find ways to protect your mental health. Okay, whatever it is you want to do, however you try to protect it, find ways to actually protect it. Do not undermine the psychological toll that is going to take on you when you migrate. Now, those that is for adults. Now, another thing we make mistake on is thinking that for children they do not get affected by the psychological switch. You know, a lot of parents say they migrate to a particular place because of their kids. They want to give their kids the better life and all of that. Now, if you're migrating with kids from the ages of 0 to 5 years old, it's quite easy for them to transition in a way because they are not really aware so much, you know, the difference and all of that. But when you're migrating with kids that are from like 6 years old to adolescent or teenage age, they are already self-aware of their environment and who they are as a person. So there is going to be a psychological switch. You know, they are coming to a place where people do not look exactly the way they look like. Like they're coming from a place where everybody looks probably the same, and you're coming to a place where there's going to be a difference, you know. So they're also coming to a place where they would have to speak up for themselves more, they will have to fight for themselves more. So you need to understand that the migration takes a toll in a way psychologically on children. You need to equip yourself with the right knowledge, the right information, sensitize yourself properly on how to help your children to navigate this whole move, this switch, this transition period, because it's not really going to be easy for them. You're seeing it from the aspect of a parent, which is I'm making sacrifices for these kids, obviously, but the kids are not actually seeing it from that angle of, oh, my parents are making sacrifices for me. They're seeing it from the angle of, you took me out from what I'm used to, where I'm used to, people that I'm used to a place that is quite different. And there are topics that in Nigeria, you do not need to discuss with kids, you know, because they are used to seeing people that are just like them. But when you come abroad, there are certain topics that you would have to start explaining to them to teach them how to have a healthy esteem. So, as parents, it's not going to be a walk in the park, it's not going to be easy, but it is our job to actually do that. So, do not undermine for any second the psychological effect it takes on migrating. The fifth mistake we make is having a closed mind. Okay, when you're moving to a different place, you need to open your mind to understanding that things are not done the same way they are done where you're coming from. Do not have that expectation that things will be done the same way is done where you're coming from. Okay, so you need to open up your mind to learn about the place, the culture, the norms, the etiquettes that are there. Okay, for instance, in Germany, like when I was in my A1 classes, okay, our teacher told us that in Germany you do not give people very expensive gifts, because if you give them very expensive gift, it means you're putting pressure on them to reciprocate with a gift that is equally as expensive as what you give to them. So you see, those little cultural norms is something that you have to open up your mind to knowing. The rules of driving here, the rules of the road, etiquette here is quite different. In Germany, they just like a quiet life. Okay, if you're very used to loud places, you love loud places, playing loud music and all this stuff. It's not quite the norm here. When it comes to parenting here in Germany, the way you parent kids back home is quite different from the way parenting is here in Germany. In Germany, child neglect is a very big problem. You do not just neglect kids just anyhow, just because you feel you can. If you do that, the government is really going to be on your neck. So you need to find out all the things about the system. Open up your mind. Do not be so rigid in only the way you're used to doing things. Being open minded does not mean you have to strip yourself of your value or your identity. No, you will still retain your value, your faith, your identity, but at the same time, you're just being flexible enough to understand that the place you are is quite different, and you need to learn some of the way things are done here to be able to navigate and thrive in. Let's talk about crowd mentality. That's another very big mistake we make. We like to follow the crowd. When somebody else is doing something, we want to do it. Somebody is living in a particular place, you feel that that's where you want to also be. Somebody is doing a particular kind of job, you feel that's what you want to do. I am not against people hopping on trends or doing what every other person is doing, but make sure it actually aligns with what you want for yourself and the goals you have actually set for yourself. Because if you always follow people to do the things that they want to do, your experience might not be exactly the same experience that those people have. So this whole crowd mentality of doing every single thing every other person is doing, it's not really the best. Okay, we need to keep it down a notch. You learn from people's experiences, but while you learn from their experiences, you take out the part of their experiences that is applicable to you, and then the part that is not applicable to you, you just let it be. Everybody cannot be the same. The mistake we make is indecisiveness, and I want to focus more on people who come to Germany as students. Now, if you're coming to Germany as students, it's necessary that you decide as early as possible if you will be staying back in Germany after your studies or you'll be moving out of Germany. Now, at the second year of your master's degree or something, you should already know if you're staying back in Germany or you're leaving Germany. The reason why I say this is because your approach towards living here and even transitioning into the labor market here will be different from somebody who does not plan to stay in Germany. Now, if you plan to stay in Germany, make up your mind on time, start learning the language as early as possible, because a lot of master's degree program are in English, so some of them do not feel the need to learn the language alongside their studies. I've seen a lot of people make that mistake, and some people are still making that mistake to date because they've not made up their mind whether they're staying back or going. Make up your mind on time, start learning the language on time. If you're choosing to stay back in Germany, try to network, attend job fairs, do internships, whether paid internship or unpaid internship, because it will help you to understand how working in Germany is like, the work culture, how the labor market is like in Germany. Sometimes you might even get a job from these paid and unpaid internships. I know somebody who did an unpaid internship and she currently works where she did an unpaid internship. Do you understand? So your approach and your focus is quite different from somebody who is not actually going to stay back in Germany. Now, if you're staying back in Germany, obviously you'll be renewing your visa after 18 months. Start saving up on time, because for you to renew your visa for your 18 months, you need to either, I think, show like a proof of fund or maybe like have a job or something like that. So you need to know all these things on time so that you will save and plan ahead properly. Now, even your pathway to permanent residency or naturalization in Germany, try to find out what are the ways that you can transition into a permanent resident holder or being a naturalized citizen here in Germany. Like, try to find this out on time. Make up your mind on time. Don't just while away your time in Germany without deciding so fast, because the more you waste time, the more things changes, the more, a lot of things happen. Make up your mind on time. Are you staying for the long haul? I know it's not easy to make up your mind, but trust me, it is better if you're able to make up your mind as early as possible, because time waits for nobody. Another mistake we make is, this is in aspect to driving. So if you're coming to Germany, I would advise you get your international driving license for wherever you're coming from. Like, especially if you're coming from like African countries, Nigeria, get your international driving license. Come to Germany. You're allowed to use that license for the first 6 months of being in Germany. So be aware that you're allowed to use it, and please do use it. Come into Germany, you already know how to drive. You know how to use the steering, the brakes, the clutch, all those things. The only thing you're going to now be learning is how the signs on the road work, the driving rules and etiquette. So it will help you, because after the 6 months expires, you have to now do your driving classes here in Germany. So at the time you're doing your driving classes here in Germany, the only thing you'll be focused on is just the rules. So the time you will spend on practical driving classes will be short and you will spend less money. Don't be like me. Oh, I did not learn how to drive at all in Nigeria, and I came here and it's the first time I'm holding a steering wheel. So, and it is costing me, for doing that. So don't make that mistake. Try to get your driving license, either you're a man or a woman. Get your driving license. When you come here, try to use it so that you can familiarize yourself somehow with the signs on the road and all those things. There are videos to watch to understand what some of those signs actually mean. So try to familiarize yourself with it. It will just help you, save you a little bit of money and time. You will not focus on just the theory part and just knowing some of the rules, but like, you will not spend so much time and money in driving here in Germany. Mistake we make is underestimating the effort it takes to actually integrate into a new society. I like everybody keeps saying like, oh, where we're coming from, life is hard. Like, yeah, life is hard, and it's not so rosy, for some people where we are coming from. But living in a new place without your friends, your family, something totally different from what you're used to, is a different level of hard. You know, there is hard and then there's hard. Like it's not the same type of hard. So do not underestimate like how difficult it is, because some people actually think like it's very easy when you come, you just transition. Oh, I was a doctor where I'm coming from. When I come here, it will just be very easy for me to transition into being a doctor and practicing here. It doesn't really work that way. So keep your expectation not so high. Just keep your expectation sort of realistic. Of course, it can happen that you would come in and then everything will just go like very smoothly, but majority of the time it doesn't work that way. So, and in order not to get yourself heartbroken, mentally broken, and all those things, just keep your expectation pretty realistic. Don't underestimate the efforts, that you need to put in to be able to integrate. And I mean integration on all levels, not just job, even the way of life, socially, mentally, physically, everything. Don't underestimate it though. You see this Germany winter, some people will be like, oh no, they know that Germany is cold. They've been hearing that Germany is actually cold, but they don't understand the weight of the cold that is in Germany. I know the cold in Germany is not as much as the one in Canada and all those things, but for you that is coming from a warm climate, it is cold. And the winter comes with this sort of depressing feeling for a lot of people. So don't think, oh, it's not affect you, it cannot happen to you, all those kind of a thing, blah blah blah. It might. So don't just rule it out that it's not going to happen to you. Try to equip yourself with the knowledge you need. Like I said, during cold times, what supplement can you take when it's winter period? What activities should you involve yourself in? What are the things you can do to just make things easier for you? Because man, it's not easy, okay? Can work for Africa. Anyway, we work, and we do not take time to also enjoy our best life while working. Ah, gosh. No, don't do that. That's a huge mistake, okay? Let's stop doing that. While you're focused so much on working and working and working, also make out time to, do some fun activities, travel. I mean, I've met people who live in Germany and they've not been to any countries in the Schengen zone. How is that even possible? I know traveling is not cheap, but I mean, you can plan for this thing ahead of time. You're in Germany, take advantages of traveling to different places. It's good. Okay, it doesn't have to be all the time, but just do it. Okay, see the way Germans take their summer holiday very serious. I love it so much. They don't joke with it. Like from the beginning of the year, they're already planning where summer destination. You know, it's it's nice. Let's imbibe that habit. Okay, that work life balance habit. You work hard and you play hard. We've come to the end of today's video. Please let me know in the comment section what are some of the mistakes you made when you came to Germany, or something that you did when you came to Germany newly and you wish you did it differently. Okay, see you in my next video. Cheers.